The Philly cheesesteak, the slider, two of the most iconic American sandwiches. Now we can sit here and debate all day about the type of cheese to put on your Philly cheesesteak, the type of toppings to put on it, onion, mushroom, pepper. One thing you can't deny, Philly cheesesteak, delicious. We're gonna pack all that flavor from the Philly cheesesteak into a slider, guys, and it's gonna be perfect for family events, gatherings, kids' parties, you name it. Let's get into it. All right, guys, we're gonna get started on this produce. We're gonna start chopping up this green pepper here. I just got one of them. Don't forget, always wash your vegetables. They're not always fully clean before you get them. Just clean them up. It takes 5 seconds. All right, let's chop this up. All right, so we're just cutting the pepper. Just gonna take the top off. Gonna core it. Get those seeds out of there. All those seeds are out. Now, just gonna slice it down the middle. All right, so for this recipe, all we're gonna do, we're just gonna cut this pepper into thin strips here. All right, guys, now that that's done, I got about 1.5 white onion here. And we're just gonna dice this up, nothing too crazy. Probably honestly just and large pieces, guys, are fine because they're gonna really cook down as they caramelize in the pot. Just make sure you get all that skin off. All right, and lastly, I got about 8 ounces of mushrooms here. I'm just chopping them in half or roughly in the same size. And guys, if you really think about it, this also could be a great way of kind of sneaking some vegetables into your kids' diet if you're making this for your family. You know, you tell the kids, hey guys, we're having Philly cheesesteaks, but there's mushrooms in here, there's onions in here, green peppers in here. It's probably more vegetables than they get all year, guys. All right, now everything is nice and prepped up. Now we're gonna start getting these on the stove, get them nice and caramelized. Let's get to it. All right, guys, I'm gonna start sauteing up those veggies. So into your pan, gonna go about 3 tablespoons of olive oil and about 1.5 tablespoons of butter. Gonna let that butter melt. And you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna keep this pan about medium-low because you don't want it to have it up too high or everything's gonna burn. All right, now that all that butter's melted up, we're gonna go ahead and throw the onions, the peppers in there. Also gonna go ahead and throw the mushrooms in there. Don't worry, guys, it's all gonna cook down. So at this point, gonna wanna put in some salt. I know that looks like a lot, but probably about 2 teaspoons of salt go in there because it's gonna help these onions sweat out. And then what we're gonna do, we're just gonna put the lid on it, let that cook up. All right, I'm cooking up for just a couple minutes here. You can already see, since we added that salt, those juices are coming out. Now guys, this is the secret ingredient here. Don't tell anybody. It's my grandpa's secret ingredient, guys. 2 tablespoons Worcestershire sauce. Also about probably Let's see here. Maybe a teaspoon and a half ground cumin. Just adds so much of a depth of flavor in these guys. It is absolute game changer. Now we're just gonna throw the lid back in, let those cook up some more. All right guys, at this point I'm turning that heat up to between medium and medium low. And we're gonna keep this lid off now. Up until this point we've had the lid on, because we're gonna try to get all this liquid to evaporate out. Now that this is all nice and soft, we're just ready to get that liquid out and it'll be nice and done. All right, and now we're gonna move this to a separate burner to finish off. That water, that liquid is definitely starting to dissipate, and everything, you can tell the onions are done. They're all separated. They're all very much wilted. The peppers, you can tell because you can just cut them. There's no snap to them. Everything's nice and finished. We're just waiting for this liquid to dissipate. So we're gonna move this over to the other burner and we're gonna start working on this meat. All right guys, don't kill me, but we're using this today, seasoned sirloin Philly steak. This stuff, guys, this is a great option if you got a family, got the kids. Steak isn't really in the budget for a lot of people nowadays. Steak is ridiculously expensive, and this stuff tastes delicious, gets the job done. It is definitely Chefing with Shane approved and budget friendly. So we're just gonna let this one side sear up. Don't need no oil in here. Just let this side kind of de-thaw, sear up, and then we'll start seasoning it up. All right guys, after they've been on both sides, you're just gonna go ahead and take the meat smasher here and just shred these up. Then we're gonna go ahead and just season with some salt and some pepper. And then we're also just gonna go in there with some garlic powder and onion powder. Just season to taste, guys. And then we're just gonna let that brown up and then it'll be done. And these guys are looking absolutely perfect. Also guys, it's a great time, preheat the oven, 350 degrees. This stuff's almost done and we're just gonna assemble, throw it in the oven. That meat is looking nice and brown, and we're gonna go ahead and take that off the burner. Also at this point, these are looking delicious. As you can see, all that liquid is now cooked out. These are browned up really beautifully, guys, and they smell delicious. I'm telling you guys, that Worcestershire, that ground cumin, it's a game changer. Can't wait for you guys to try it for yourself. Let's start assembling these sliders. Of course, I'm using King's Hawaiian Rolls here. I'm gonna take these out. Everyone's favorite. And the 4 pieces of meat is gonna make you, honestly, about half of these. So I'm just gonna take my bread knife, cut off about half of these. And then just take my bread knife here and cut these right in the middle. All right guys, check that out. Nice top here. Now we're gonna start assembling them. All right guys, there isn't really a way to make this look pretty on the table, but we're just gonna put this steak down. If you want to call it steak. I'm calling it steak today, guys. We're eating like a king tonight. All right, guys, next we're gonna go in there. My cheese of choice is provolone. So we're gonna go in there with provolone, do about 6 slices. And then over top of that, we're gonna do our beautiful onions, mushrooms, green peppers. You guys, if you don't like one of these, of course, you can take out the peppers or the mushrooms or the onions. I know traditionally, I think it's mostly just onions and peppers, but I like mushrooms in there too. Just put those right on top of that cheese. All right, guys, so this is what it looks like now. Ready for the oven. I just put it in an old metal pan with some foil and some Pam. All right, guys, right before they go in the oven, last thing you're gonna do, melt about a tablespoon of butter, and just, if you have a brush, you can brush it on there. If you don't, use a spoon like I'm doing. Just put that all over those top of the buns, and it'll allow it to get golden brown, and it'll be so beautiful. Now it's time to throw these in the oven. 350 degrees, uncovered, for about 12 to 15 minutes. All right, guys, it's been around 14 minutes. And take these out. They're looking absolutely beautiful, golden brown. You can hear the sizzle on there. Set this on top of the stove to cool for a couple minutes, and then we'll slice them up, plate them up, test them out. All right, guys, I just plated that up. That looks absolutely delicious. Can't wait to try it. All right, guys, they're all done. Honestly, I wasn't even hungry when I started filming this video, guys. It's been a couple hours. I know for you guys, it's only been like 10 minutes, but it's been a couple hours. I'm starting to get hungry now. I'm excited to try. Take a look. Let's take a bite. Wow. That's the perfect bite. Get that buttery slider roll there. Delicious onions, mushrooms, guys. I'm telling you, Worcestershire, cumin, salt, the perfect combination on there. You guys can dip it in whatever you want. I might dip it in here in like a sriracha mayo sauce, something like that. But guys, this recipe, great recipe, simple recipe. Like I said, you guys could level it up. You guys could go ahead and get the ribeye. You guys might even be able to just go ahead and, you know, get New York strip, flank, whatever. I went ahead, I thought I used something readily available for anybody, nice and cheap, just in case, you know, anyone could do this video. And so I hope you guys try this out for yourself. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and always remember, a messy apron is a healthy household.